I paid for this place on the 12th of June, meaning that on the 12th of July, I am going to be homeless. As I said in the previous video, that this experience of being able to come up with a plan, strategize to make sure that I have a proper living condition, this challenge, this problem is a problem that I have solved over and over again. And that's why my subconscious does not register this as a problem, but rather as an opportunity. And being something that I've done multiple times over and over, I have come to realize the things I tend to experience and the things I tend to learn when I'm in a situation where I do not have any means of assurance about being able to cover up my bills when it comes to rentals. And now I decided that I was not going to put my name on a property lease for a year because it's not of any advantage to me right now. The current situation I am, the current position, and the current path I have taken as a creative, leasing a property for 1 year in Nigeria is not going to be um, beneficial to me. And this is one of the reasons why I had to step away from Lagos for 3 months and come here to also come back home and know what it feels like to live outside Lagos. I've been in Lagos since 2016, 2015, there about around December, January of 2015. So it's within that time frame. I've been in Lagos and I haven't really left Lagos. Lagos, Ogun State, and just around the southwest region for this long period of time. And there was no other way to, begin this journey by trying out in a new place because I can remember very well coming to Lagos was for a purpose. Moving to Lagos at a very young age was for a purpose. And I learned so many things. And one of the things I learned about this problem, if you are in a position of not being able to see how you are going to secure a place for yourself, you should know that challenges like this are very, very personal. And for me, I've always learned the real meaning of individuality when it comes to problems like this because it's always unique to everyone, right? The standard of living you set for yourself is definitely not going to be the same standard of living your friends and family members set for themselves. With this mindset, it has also made me see that there is nothing more painful than sharing a common problem with the people around you and being unable to quickly find a solution. That's the trick. People always believe that, oh yeah, if you just get a 1 year, rent, if you just live in a cheap property, it's going to be a lot easier. No, that's the trick. It's not going to be easy. Okay, let's say you rent a place in Lagos for a year, let's say for 300,000 naira, let's say self-contained, or a one bedroom for 300,000 naira. I bet you it's not going to still be easy to cover up that bill. You are just playing at you're just playing at that level. So playing at that level gives you the challenges of that level. I don't know if this makes sense, but if you're someone who have been covering your rent for a long period of time, I haven't had the luxury to always have um relatives or people come through to say, oh, take your rent while you focus on school. It's always been, okay, you have to go work or you have to do this and that because you have to cover your rent. And I've discovered that whatever level you're playing at, even if you decide to go pay for the 250,000 naira apartment a year, it's still going to be challenging because you are playing at that level. So yeah, the biggest pain you will go through as an adult is having a common problem and not being able to easily solve it because there's always no easy solution. So, with my situation, it just made me realize that having unique problems is like, okay, that's it. No one is going to understand. There is no need to talk about it. You just have to go figure it out. I have eliminated the illusion of familiarity. I know that I'm on my own path, and anytime I see myself in this situation, it crafts out and gives birth to something very new. And that's why I've thrown myself into the abyss. So that's what I would say. Another thing about being in this situation is that you have to ignore the turbulence. The turbulence is the biggest distraction. When you set yourself into a new reality, you find yourself in situations and challenges that are not, familiar, right? But the goal is to ignore the turbulence, because it's in ignoring the turbulence that you discover something new. Um, Look at me now. I never knew that I could find it very easy to just turn on my camera and say, "Oh yeah, let me just keep talking." And I have never felt this level of motivation in a long time. That's because I'm also ignoring the turbulence. So yes, there's still an underlying fear of what happens, you know, by July the 12th. But till then, I mean, I'm still creating, I'm still putting out this video, and there is this um, belief that something crazy is just going to happen, and I'm just going to keep sharing. I owe it to anyone who is going to watch this to try my best to put them through and share my journey, because it's a commitment I've made starting this channel, and also showing everyone how they can also create their own dreams. It's just one of those things too. I'm turning 29 this year, and I have decided to take the creative route. To lots of people, it's going to sound crazy, and I like it because I have eliminated the challenge of having familiar problems with other people and still having the challenge of being able to solve them. Now I know that it's my own problem, it's my own unique path, and it's going to be very difficult to. Of course, it is difficult to find someone who would easily relate. So it makes me just look more within, and on my journey I do find people who can understand and relate to it, but most of them are not just on the same path as I am. So it's still me by myself. And the last thing I'm going to say before I go on to think of the next video I'm going to share is that I don't intend to play the blame game. Every decision I've made up to this point is mine, and there's only one way I can react towards this, and it's to believe. That's the only way.